Hey, it's Nate with Pulse PEMF, and we are live from the biohacking conference floor, and we're talking with the movers and shakers of the future of wellness. And joining me right now is Kim Rogers, the worm queen. Kim, thank you so much for joining the Pulsecast today.
Thanks for having me.
So first, let's talk about the title on your badge, the worm queen.
Yes.
Tell us how you got that title.
Well, I went viral on TikTok and I didn't want to be known as the worm lady. It's not fun.
But you're just owning it now.
I'm owning the worm queen.
Okay.
I'm crowned. I love it. It just really is a fun way for people to kind of have a better understanding of what worms, parasites can do to you.
It definitely
And
gets the
it's catchy.
attention.
Yeah,
When you hear worm
totally.
queen, it's like, okay, does she command worms or she knows how to deal with the worms?
I mean, both. Like, if you get around me, your frequency kind of does shift and change.
Come on.
Yeah, I've had people actually get rid of worms
Yes.
after just hanging out with me.
I've been social media stalking you and I've been following your videos, and I love the energy that you're putting out on Instagram, the video content. It's just good bite-sized information, because a lot of this can feel overwhelming in the
Yeah.
wellness industry. There's so many developments, breakthroughs that are happening. And so you giving those little bite-sized nuggets. We're going to talk about one of the videos that almost made me sick to my stomach when I saw it, but it was very eye-opening. So we'll get to that in a minute. What are some of the easiest ways to pick up parasites or worms?
Salmon.
No, not one of my favorites.
It's my favorite too.
Oh,
But I don't eat it anymore because I've seen way too much. I just cannot get past it. Salmon was my favorite for food. I would eat it 2 to 3 times. Sushi.
Absolutely.
Sushi, I would
come
eat 2 to
on.
I mean, I was like this huge omega lover, you know?
Yep.
I just really constantly was eating fish and salmon and what are you going to do? Just cleanse is really what we say now. Just compare,
So
cleanse.
fish in general,
Yeah,
raw,
almost
cooked.
all fish. Well, if you cook it, you got to really cook it. Freezing it doesn't do anything. That really
Okay.
is kind of a thing out there where, oh, it's been frozen. No, like a 46,000-year-old worm woke up in the permafrost in Russia and started eating and producing babies. Like, freezing it is not doing anything.
Wow. Okay. That's an eye-opening statement.
Yes. You
Okay.
have to cook it. Like, you have to boil it. You have to really go above and beyond and get rid of them, or just cleanse. Like, if you're going to go out there and live your life, we're human. We want to have fun. We want to live our life. Eating raw produce and sushi, and I guess is part of that, right?
Right. Yes. No, sushi is a must in my house. So this is painful information you're sharing today. What else is? I've heard a lot about contact, and specifically with pets in the
Yes.
house. So is that would you consider that another top 3 way to get parasites and worms?
I do. I think that
Okay.
it is one of the top 3 ways. If you have animals, we deworm our dogs.
Yep.
We need to be deworming ourselves. Everything is a
Yes.
microscopic. So they're licking you. They're walking outside on their bare feet. They're drinking out of puddles. They're eating poo. They're licking themselves.
Right.
They're doing all the things
That
that
we
you
don't
don't
do.
really think about, right?
Right.
You're like, wait a minute, I don't understand. Well, it's because we just don't really think this way in Western medicine countries.
Right.
Other countries think this way.
Yep.
We just don't think this way.
No, we're like, come on, sleep in the bed with us,
Totally.
and let's treat you like part of the family. Which I understand that,
You
because
have
they
to.
are part of the family.
Yeah.
But there's a measure of, this is still an animal,
Mhm.
and there's got to be some boundaries just for health purposes. So that's 2. We got fish, salmon being one of them,
Water.
and water is the other one.
Yeah,
Okay.
water's a really big one. That's what affected my husband and me.
Okay.
We tested our water in Hoodsport. That's where Mrs. Rogers Hood came from. And it tested positive for parasites. We've also tested Seattle's water, and it tested positive for worms.
Oh my
So
goodness.
really, the water in our country is not great.
Yep.
You wouldn't drink the water in Mexico. I definitely don't drink the water here in the United States either. We carry a filter with us. I always drink filtered water.
Yep.
So it's really, I brush my teeth with bottled water. Like, we travel a lot right now because we're doing so many podcasts and just trying to educate people that we will not go anywhere without bottled water or a filter. It's just really sad that our country's water has gotten like this.
Yep.
But I'm really grateful I have the knowledge for me to be able to at least tell people a little bit more, protecting your body, because you can absorb things through your body, heavy metals. We're out there showering in water. We just don't even know what's on it.
And the skin is so absorbent.
It is. It's totally absorbent. So Really, I would say pets, fish, and raw produce, raw meat. So in the food world, and then water.
Okay. Yeah. And I know there have been recent studies of some of the air quality as well, because there's been a lot of chemtrails being seen all across
Yeah,
America. And they're finding there's even parasites in the air now after there's heavy doses of chemtrails. So it really goes to show we need to be proactive and not
yes.
wait till we start noticing, oh, something's not right. So, which segues to my next question. How do you know? Are there any symptoms that are common where you're like, this could be a parasitic infection? It could be worms, fill in the blank.
Being proactive. I'm so glad you said that. It is very important to be proactive. We're all reactive, right? We're a
Yep.
reactive society. We're not like grabbing it and saying we need to do this ourselves. And that's really where, like, even what you're doing is helping people regain their own independence in their own health journey.
Yes,
So that really is kind of the way we all should be looking at this.
absolutely.
And it's important because I feel like the sovereignty has been somewhat taken away from us in a way. And we're all kind of here showing people how you can regain that. So I
Get your life back.
totally, totally. So I would say that the easiest ways for you to, we talked about the easiest ways to catch them. The easiest ways to know you have a parasite
Hmm.
is usually grinding of the teeth is a big one. Skin issues is a huge one. People that have really like eczema, psoriasis, something's going on in your gut that's causing you to have that come out of your skin, which is your
Yep.
biggest organ. And
Right.
so your body's trying to tell you something. It doesn't have any other way than to alert you in these ways.
Right.
And so usually the skin and drooling is a big one. I did not know that until a couple of
Okay.
years ago. Craving food with salt and sugar and eating after 7 p.m. because
Okay.
they're nocturnal. So they wake up and you're
Ah.
ready to go to bed, but they're awake. So you get insomnia, you're eating sugar at night. I was a salt craver. And
Yeah.
so, it's really just like seeing what were you doing on a good path and then what could have changed? What did you make them feel inhospitable in your body that kind of alarmed them that they're like, oh, I feel under attack. So they're kind of making you change your behavior. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. I generally start craving fruit after 7 p.m.
Oh. Do you eat a lot of sugar?
I don't. I don't
Okay.
I don't really have
Just the
really any
fruit?
sugar in my diet.
That's
Yeah,
good.
just fruit. Yeah.
That's good. Oh, that's okay though, because it's
Okay.
not a processed food. And even if you did crave a lot of fruit, it could just be candida, which candida is also a
It is a
parasite
parasite. Yeah.
because the definition is anything that feeds off a host
Yes.
is parasite.
Yeah.
So I just happen to talk more about worms, but parasites are a few things, right?
Yes. So my wife is a doctor of naturopathy, and she is a huge proponent of an anti-candida, antifungal diet. And so she's got our whole house on that, including my three daughters, and then we have a 1-year-old son. So he's going to get caught up soon enough, and he'll be on the antifungal diet. So we've talked about ways to get the worms, parasites, the triggers or the signs, the symptoms that may show that we need to do a detox. Um, let's talk about that one particular video, because when we're talking about food prep in particular.
The one I ruin food for everyone.
Yeah,
Do I
but
know.
I'm
That's why we have a fun name, right?
right, exactly. Exactly. So on this video, for those who, and I encourage you, go to her Instagram. Go ahead and tell your Instagram handle. So,
Mrs. Rogers.hood on IG.
okay. So this particular video, she was breaking down a salmon that had been fully cooked, that was bought at a beloved wholesale club. I'm sorry, everyone. And it was wild caught.
Right.
And in the video, it had been cooked and worms were being pulled out of the fish,
Yes.
which turned my stomach. It was shocking, I think, for everyone. But if this is true of like wild caught, then what is the safest way for us to prepare our food and get our food?
You just have to cook it. So if I don't eat anything raw, it,
Okay.
it really, I've only gone against that a few times when I'm outside of my home. I prepare all of my produce the same way. I do like a soak and then I use ozone to kill anything else that could potentially be on it.
Okay.
And so I have eaten out with raw produce a few times and I'm always ill after because they just don't prepare things correctly.
Yeah.
So I just have a pretty good guideline of I only eat steamed and cooked food when I'm
Okay.
out. So that's one way to avoid those type of things, or just eat raw produce at your home.
Okay.
Um, Unfortunately, I live in Seattle and I've spoken to quite a few fishermen down there, and they're like, every fish have worms. Every fish has parasites. It's the closer to the belly, the cut, that will have more parasites than further up. So when you're
Okay.
in a sushi restaurant and they're like, this is a really good cut, it's because it's probably further up the body. So it's
Okay.
harder for the parasites, they say, to reach up there. But parasites live in our muscles, our tissue, and our blood, ours as humans, that lives for sure everywhere else in animals. So it doesn't matter if it's wild caught or if it's
Yep.
farmed. And so it's just really about knowing that you need to be doing these cleanses and
Yep.
knowing how your body reacts to certain things and just understanding your body.
And when you mentioned ozone, is there a particular way that you treat the produce? Is there like a modality that offers the ozone?
I like the Thurisage.
Okay.
They're just like a small portable machine that you just throw it in the water with the produce and it goes for 10 minutes and it creates ozone water. So they're my
Yep.
favorite
Okay.
when it comes to that because it's hard to find ozone machines.
Yes.
It's crazy. You have to
That's why I
get it's like
asked.
$100.
Yep.
It's like super cheap.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
That's for
Thurisage is great. I love them. Their daughter had Lyme. She passed away from Lyme. And so most of their modalities are
wow.
to help people like us that are chronically ill or chronically healing. And, they do a lot of those type of things. They're great.
Wow. That's very helpful. I like the practical. And
Yeah,
$100, that's
a
not going to break the
hundred
bank.
bucks.
Are you an
Yeah.
affiliate with them?
Yeah. I don't know my code. I think it's
Okay.
Rogers.
Go to her
I
Instagram,
think it's Rogers.
message her for the affiliate code for sure. So while we're on this subject, because this is another associated subject, but people like to skirt around. Let's talk about mold for a minute.
Yeah.
Because I think it's more prevalent than people realize
Yes.
in the water, in our living conditions. What is something we can do to be proactive against mold toxicity?
Well, I had mold. That's why I talk about it.
Yep.
So after I did the whole parasites and I figured out I had parasites in our water, which I discovered myself, I then started to get sick again after I was doing all these cleanses. And I was already on TikTok and Instagram. I was going very viral at this point, and my eyes started to swell shut. I lost half my hair and I became very ill.
Oh my
And I was
goodness.
like, oh, well, obviously it's not parasites that are causing me to be this sick. And I now need to figure out what's going on with me. And I come to find out my husband and I were living in a travel trailer while building our log home. So it was just the two of us building it. And we had Aspergillus niger in our travel trailer, which a lot of people live in travel trailers. And a lot of people don't realize that they're living in mold. They say like 60% of our buildings are full of mold in our country, but you wouldn't know until
Whoa.
you get tested or something happens to you that creates a higher level of stress, and then your body doesn't know how to deal with environmental toxins that are going on. And so once it starts to take over, it's really taking over. And once me personally removed the parasites out of my body, the mold thrived. And when you see
Wow.
the mold on the walls, that's what it's doing in your body. It's colonizing in your body. And
Wow.
that's why stuff like the Pulse PMF is so great, because it doesn't allow your cells to stay stagnant. They move. It constantly is pushing things out of your cells, detoxing your cells. So that's
Yes.
spores, that's parasites, that's Lyme, Babesia. All of those things are being pushed out of your cells because it's in a constant state of movement.
Right.
And that's why just doing a cleanse is never going to cure you. You have to do a cleanse to get rid of symptoms, and you have to add other modalities. And so once you start to do that, any environmental toxin, including mold, Lyme, parasites, strep,
Yep.
EBV, all of those things are not going to be able to continue to thrive in your body when you keep it in a moving. And that's
Yes.
what's so great about PMF, because it really does do that. It constantly keeps you in that movement. So you're getting up in the morning doing movement, you're doing movement
Yes.
at night. And so you're never just stagnant.
I
And
love
so
it.
mold loves stagnant. They love that it's a vibration, it's its own frequency.
Yes.
And so what I learned through this journey is that parasites are controlling and mold is brainwashing. So it
Whoa.
literally can go in and
What a
change
statement.
who you are to your core.
Wow.
I know I have goosebumps
Yeah.
because it's
No,
true.
that is a powerful statement. So, since we're on the subject of PEMF, counterbalancing as a modality that's proactive for people, not we don't always have to react to the symptoms. We can put in. I mentioned this on a previous interview today that I think it was Benjamin Franklin that said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Yes.
It's creating that lifestyle and that discipline where you're investing in your future. So with your experience with Pulse PMF today in our booth, we're in the tech wonderland at the biohacking conference. This is like the Disneyland for the adults who want to live to be 200 years old, right?
Yes.
Like this is a dream conference. You got to experience a full session here demoing our technology. You were on the Z Grav Lounger, I believe it was, in the XL
Mhm.
Pro. Tell us about your experience on that.
It was great. It was like a full body TENS unit. And then you stick this thing on top so you're getting it from above and behind. And like I came in, I was, it's hard to fly. So I was sat
Yes.
on a plane for 8 hours yesterday. And so just being able to feel grounded and calm and just be able to enjoy the rest of this week now because I was able to do this. It was amazing. It was
And if
amazing.
you want to come back for another demo,
Yeah,
I know
totally.
we're booked today, but I have a feeling there are going to be some windows here and there. So if you want to come back for another session
Yeah.
with the benefits of PEMF, we're increasing the permeability of the cell membrane, so toxins are getting out, nutrients are coming in. We are stimulating the mitochondria. There's so many things that are happening on a cellular level. Where do you see that fitting into like a protocol with detoxing or a parasite cleanse? How would you incorporate that? Is that something that you would personally do in the morning or morning and night? How would you incorporate PEMF into a detox protocol?
Morning and at night because it does help detox. And I do recommend anytime you do anything that can create a detox symptom in your body, you should bind.
Mm.
So you should do it
Yes.
in the
Thank you for
morning.
saying that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I learned even when you're getting a massage, you should take a binder after the massage because you're moving the lymphatic system. You're
Yes.
moving your body. And that's what this is doing. It's moving your lymphatic, it's opening up that drainage pathway, it's allowing you to absorb more, but it's also pushing the bad out. So your body has to know where and what to do with that bad. And so
Yes.
when you bind, so that's my biggest suggestion when people are doing anything along these lines, they should be binding too.
It's funny you mentioned that. I brought binders with me
Oh,
to the
good.
conference
Good.
because I knew I would be trying a bunch of things
Yeah.
and sampling that. In fact, Pulse has created a proprietary supplement that includes humic and fulvic acid. We call it Pulse Fuel,
Oh my gosh.
specifically for that reason to help. You take it or before or after your session to help grab those toxins that have been exercised out of the cells. So
Nice.
that is so in line with the culture of our company for sure. And as people are looking to get free from parasites, mold, all those things, you also have a line of products as well. Can we talk about that?
Yeah. So I created the Parafy kit.
Yes.
It's Parasites, Candida, and Metal Flush, which is a heavy metal detox. So it helps with those three items and then a binder because I'm a huge binder.
Yes.
I didn't know about binding. I am so big at it because I didn't know about it and I had terrible two cleanses because I didn't know
Yep.
you were supposed to bind.
I did.
So
I
they
did
were
as
coming
well.
out of my skin, my husband's skin. We felt like trash.
Yep.
Okay, it was a simple binder. So I want to make sure people understand how to do a cleanse. They don't just go into it. I watch all the trends right now on IG and I'm like, you can't just take a synthetic drug and expect not to feel like crap. You have to bind.
Right.
And then they're releasing heavy metals and they're releasing spores and
Yep.
they're releasing other viruses and bacteria. And so you have to kind of incorporate all of that in. And that's what
Absolutely.
I did.
And so, how can our viewers find out more about you, your products, and your protocols?
You can find me on rogershood.com. That's where all of my products are.
Okay.
We have the Parasite Cleanse. We have a mold cleanse called Moldies.
Yep.
We have a new lymphatic cleanse called Lymph. It helps with your brain and moving your lymphatic system. It
Wow.
also has lime herbs in it. I did a lot of studying on lime since I have Lyme myself. And so I wanted to be able to create something that could help not just move your lymphatic system, but I noticed that since I consistently try and move my lymphatic system more, my Lyme seems to be a lot more at bay than it used to be when I was very stagnant and not doing PMF. Honestly, like when I didn't integrate this into my life, I did not feel as good as I do because I do
Wow.
PMF every day,
Come
just
on.
different. It's just not you. I do a different
But
company.
PEMF is so
It's
important.
so important. I
It's
lay
one of
on
the
it
most
every
important
day.
discoveries in the last 100
Oh,
years, I
for
believe.
sure. For sure. I got my mom a mat because it's so important for people that are chronically healing to
Yeah.
add extra modalities. That's why on my podcast, I have a podcast called What's Eating You.
Great.
And I, great, right?
Whoa, that's the perfect podcast title for the Worm Queen.
Yeah.
What's eating you?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I didn't get to see that on Instagram, so I'm gonna have to go follow your
Oh, yeah.
podcast.
Yeah. What's
That,
Eating You?
all right, so can you give that website again one more
Yeah.
time?
RogersHood.com.
rogershood.com. This is a mission with many voices, and we are so thankful for yours, Kim. Thank you for
Yeah.
joining us on the
Thanks
Pulsecast
for
today.
having me.
And this is wellness. We're not just talking it, we are living it. So stay connected with us here on the Pulsecast for more inspiring stories and speakers like Kim. We'll see you in the next conversation.